The paper-silver illusion is disintegrating. As of January 14, 2026, the global banking system is facing a catastrophic failure to deliver. With the physical price of silver now testing the $90 range and gapping toward triple digits, the massive short positions held by bullion banks have become an existential threat. We analyze the force majeure clauses being triggered in commercial contracts, why the $100 price level is the mathematical kill switch for the COMEX, and how the U.S. Treasury's new critical mineral status allows for the legal seizure of silver stocks. The system is breaking. Are you in the physical or the paper? We have reached the endgame. What was once dismissed as a conspiracy theory is now becoming a matter of public record. Today, January 14, 2026, the paper-silver market is entering a state of terminal default. For decades, the price of silver was managed, suppressed, and controlled by a digital sea of paper contracts that outnumber physical metal by nearly 400 to 1. But as silver gaps toward $100 an ounce, the math is no longer working. The banks are staring into an abyss of their own making, and the words force majeure, superior force are starting to appear in the fine print of commercial silver contracts across the globe. Why is $100 the breaking point? It's not just a psychological level, it's a mathematical kill switch. Most of the bullion banks' short positions were entered when silver was between $20 and $30. At $100 silver, the margin calls on these positions exceed the total Tier 1 capital of several major institutions. We are talking about billions of dollars in losses being realized every time the price ticks up by a single dollar. When the price hits triple digits, the banks will no longer have the liquidity to maintain the short side. They will be forced to buy back their paper promises in a market where there is zero physical supply. This is the definition of a termination event. The signs of a force majeure event are everywhere. In London, the LBMA has reported that silver stocks are at critically low levels, and we are hearing reports that large institutional buyers are being offered cash settlements instead of the metal they ordered. This is a default in all but name. When you pay for silver and the exchange offers you paper currency because they don't have the bars, the system has failed. The U.S. Mint's suspension of sales today is the government's way of signaling that they, too, are out of physical metal to sell at these prices. They are protecting the remaining inventory for the only sector that matters now, national defense. This leads us to the rule change from the U.S. Treasury. Secretary Scott Bessent has officially moved silver to the critical minerals list. This isn't just a change in terminology, it is a legal maneuver. Under this status, the government can invoke emergency powers to divert silver away from the public market and into strategic interest sectors like AI server production and military hardware. They are effectively nationalizing the silver supply chain to prevent an industrial collapse. If you are holding silver in an unallocated bank account or a paper ETF, you are at the bottom of the priority list. You will be settled in depreciating dollars, while the physical atoms are diverted to the state. The paper-to-physical divergence is now canon. What happens when the default goes public? We are looking at a limit-up scenario where the silver market simply stops trading because there are no sellers at any price. We saw this in the nickel market in 2022, and silver is a far more critical asset. At $100, the short squeeze becomes a global scramble. Every tech company, every sovereign wealth fund, and every savvy investor will realize that the paper system is a house of cards. The banks will trigger force majeure clauses to settle their debts in cash, effectively stealing the upside from paper investors. This is why we say, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. The end game is here. The U.S. Mint has halted sales. The Treasury has changed the rules. The banks are trapped. And the price is screaming toward a level that the current financial system cannot survive. We are moving from a world of unlimited paper to a world of scarce physical. Don't be the person holding a paper receipt on the day the COMEX declares force majeure. Secure your wealth. Get into the physical metal. Subscribe to Survival Economics for the latest on the $100 silver breakout and the coming institutional defaults. The reset isn't coming, it's happening right now. I'll see you in the next report.